8 p.m. If you miss any of the shows and you want to hear what me or my incredible panels have been speaking about, you can see that on YouTube and on Facebook. I encourage you to head on over to Facebook, but please follow here, follow the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, support me as best you can on each of the platforms. Okay. If you're on Facebook and you're wondering where all these voices come from every single episode, you have to be following me on TikTok and join the show on TikTok in order to be able to request, and then I can put you on a panel and we can speak about what's going on. Today we're going to speak about a very heavy situation in the PSL. You know, refereeing problems in the PSL used to happen once every couple of matches. Once every couple of matches, someone would complain. There'd be a penalty. There'd be something that wasn't earned. But it seems as though in the short time that the PSL has been back this season, it just seems like there's so many issues, man. Offsides, balls crossing the line, penalties, pushes, people getting pushed. There's a lot that happened. And today I want to speak about referees and how we feel about referees in the PSL. Yeah, push, man. It was a push, that one. So let's get on and speak about it. Obviously, the big ones have been Sundowns have had a couple. We've said that this year is their year. It's their year to benefit from bad refereeing calls. So Sundowns have had a couple versus Chiefs, I believe, versus is it Kukune? One of those guys. Some guy says we need VAR. The push against Kukune United. There's been so many issues. So let's get on and speak in general about this refereeing issue and what is happening with South African refereeing. And then also afterwards, we can get into some predictions. For the weekend. I have a couple of games that I've selected there. I got some of the stats from Betway. Yeah, some of the betting odds from Betway for those things. Remember, this is not advice, but we'll speak about it. So I'm gonna open up the lines. Please request if you want to be part of the panel. We're speaking refereeing, and then we're gonna do predictions. Hopefully, to help us. Is there an echo? Let me hear this. Is there an echo? I don't have an echo on my side. Chamele, sorry about that. Yeah. My brother Gunjan, fair to keep up. Thank you, Trey. Okay. Let's open up and see who's brave enough to take on these referees. I knew it. I want you, man. I want you, AJ. The man that has been benefiting. How are you doing, my brother?
No, I'm good, man. Long week, and finally I can be on the show full time. It's been a horrible week.
It happens, my guy. Tell me, what are your thoughts about the refereeing in South Africa in general?
I think, like I raised up the issue yesterday, that it's very poor, and I know people are gonna say I'm a defendist, but I'm not gonna. They're calling me Mr. Benefiting now.
Mr. Benefiting.
I'm not gonna blame the refs. I think most of it is to do with PSL and SAFA. They are the ones who are supposed to be blamed for the incompetence of the refs.
Okay.
So I think it's a case of saying, imagine if we blamed a soccer player for missing a sitter. If you're training once a week, it goes back to the situation of Suarez, that we're blaming Suarez for the mistakes that he made. Fair enough, he made the mistake, supposed to get blamed, but at what point do you draw the line and say, but Suarez only trains at night after waking, and maybe once or twice in a week. At what point do you say, but yes, some of it is his fault, but not entirely his fault? And when do we start saying, how do we fix it? Because I think even if you bring in VAR or the same officials don't think much will change. You can see now.
Oh. Look at the replay.
You can see with replays with 2 times better experience and money and everything. See in England, my Manchester United benefit. They've said the last game. We see all the problems with VAR. Like, it doesn't eliminate the human error. So, yeah, so I think that's my opinion. I think, yeah.
Let me bring in Hendrik. Hendrik, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
Hey, my brother, yeah.
Hey, right, Mr. Benefiting right now. What do you think about these refs in general?
Ngululeko, u-007 uyabenefita kakhulu. He knows it. U-007 uyabenefita kakhulu. He knows that the reason why we were supposed to get a penalty, Galeskati Dalanabo, they were pulling my striker. They even they stepped on him, but it's fine. It's fine. We are benefiting.
The offside.
Yeah. We are benefiting. So, my brother, whether we like it or not, these referees, they must go back to school. They must redo their studies or something like that, my brother. Like something is wrong, and it's doing worse now. Like I remember there was this referee that gave Orlando Pirates goal. He gave the goal while the Orlando Pirates player was way offside. You remember? Like I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. And then it's crazy, my brother. This thing keeps on doing, and then the more this thing is not being fixed or attended, the more this mistake still happen. Like I think they should go back to the drawing board when the PSL closes. They should take those referees and then they should redo their courses. It seems like maybe they forgot or how they should be referees. Understand? And yes, it may not be only in South Africa. It also happens. It's also happening in Premier League, like 007 said. Like Manchester United benefited, right? So Manchester United benefited, it's fine. So even if they bring VAR, 007 is right. Even if they bring the VAR, it will be up to the how the referee sees the situation. You understand? So that's why I'm saying even if they bring VAR, one thing is the referees must be given books. They must be given the laws of the game, and then they will revisit the studies again. Because even if they can bring VAR, some will say that mango thing is not a foul. That mango, it was a definite foul. That goal was not supposed to be played. That was a definite foul. But they say they gave that ball away. We still have problems with offside. New laws of offside where are going to be introduced, where they will be determined by the player's legs, not the upper body. We still have those laws that are going to be implemented. So PSL will be left behind. Like our referees are worse than Syria, Egypt. Our referees are worse. I think PSL must just take this review and then make sure that they read the books again. I think they are now in a comfortable positions where they don't study or revise to see if they've made mistakes. And they are cocky about it. They don't even, they don't communicate. I remember a day where a goal would be reversed on live television. You know it, my brother. You've been watching soccer for so long. In South Africa, a long time ago, goals will be reversed. The linesman would communicate with the referee, understand? And they would communicate the technical team of referees will communicate with each other. And then the goal will be reversed, understand? But now it looks like when the linesman says it's a goal, the referee doesn't need to contest. When the referee says it's a goal, the linesman doesn't contest. I remember it back ago, my brother, they would argue and say, oh no, it's not a goal, this happened, it's a goal, this happened. But now, my brother, they are just relaxing, comfort space. It's not even gonna change. I think what they must do their they must do their studies again. That's where the problem might be.
Okay. Let me bring in Plessa. Plessa, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Let's talk about these referees. What are your general thoughts about refereeing in South Africa?
Yes. I'll quote what Mr. Kompelev said on Wednesday. He said, so to be trusted, you need to be tested.
Yeah.
So ke tsona o tlo nka ka speed na. Ke tlo bola ka speed.
Bua.
Okay. Se ke le ka go tsebela ke gore no ga ke tse borna the referee tja rena in South Africa, are they really going to workshop from the first goal, or maybe they are going to the workshop the moment they say like you'll be officiating a game on Wednesday or maybe during the weekends. So that's the thing that like I don't know like because if they were having a proper workshop, for example, now the players, okay, let's take example from the players. Now the players are at the camp, they are training daily and early in the morning and afternoon. They're having 2 sessions per day.
Yeah.
Even if our referees were having more sessions per day, maybe 2 in the morning and the afternoon, I think things were going to be much easier than this we are experiencing at the moment. For example, we have got referees that know the some are the teachers. Now they are in the class teaching learners. So they will go to workshop maybe during Friday after school. They will be officiating a big game tomorrow. So they will about of America to a point out like manager. Some they will not even know like what's the proper offside, what is the foul, we don't know. But if ever tomorrow like a proper workshop, I think maybe Safa maybe straight. Can I Safa is one if the permanent jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, can I have a permanent job obviously. Safa American Monday to Friday. Now go 8 o'clock, the little than ka Friday 4:30. Therefore tomorrow 3:30 on a game. Ke nagana re e sa fa ka fa di e ka fa batho ba rena di referee na permanent job. Ke nagana dilo tse di ka fokotsega. Ke na dilo tse di ka fokotsega. So wa ka nna sa fa so fit permanent job. Le tabeng ya di linemen. E re ke bia tabeng ya di linemen a ke tsona ke tlhaka dilo re bjang. Gore batho ba rena ba linemen most ba se ba bona di offside. It is because they are always watching football. I don't know if you get my point. If ever you are a lineman, you don't have to watch football. You just have to watch the last man, the defenders. Where are they? Therefore, you have to go back. Like for example, that offside against Kaizer Chiefs, mamelodi Sundowns against Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
A clear offside. Where was the lineman? He was watching football. He was watching Tembazwani. Tembazwani man marking Castillo over there. Forgetting who's offside now. Shalulile. So most of the time they are levelela. Na defender a guy, na the attacker in which position. Can I look into the was it done?
Enjoy ball.
But we enjoy ball. I give a miracle. No, what miracle?
That is in the house. Call lightning. We want 9-9 like this. Watching it like that.
No, it can it's a bit different. It's a bit different. It's between miracle. Later, or no. Football. They can just go to stadium. But something about the mask job, then like this one is Mr. Shongwani. Obviously we can point out that this is Mr. Shongwani. We can know. So they can watch the football proper on the stadium. But if ever tomorrow in the uniform, but tomorrow miracle, you don't have to watch the game wherever you are during the week. During the week, don't have to watch a game during the week.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back. Zasho, welcome to the show. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm well, OT, and yourself?
I'm okay, my brother. Tell me your general thoughts about refereeing in South Africa.
I'd like to agree with no players because I think vele abo referee bethu baba ne fatigue ngoba bayasebenza futhi understand ngapha kumele bayoreva ama game, and I believe that in fatigue it has also something to do with the brain. So I think le nto leyo yabakhosta njengoba asho vele ublessa ukuthi kumele at least bathole ama-permanent post where umuntu azoyazi ukuthi this is my work, where umuntu will know that I don't have to ngiye security or ngiye esiphoyiseni or ngiyoba icleaner bese ngibuye ngizorepla. This thing it takes a lot of energy from bona abo-referee. And then I think they must as well, njengoba bahlezi basho vele, they must bring this VAR thing because I doubt ukuthi i-league will run smoothly like in ngabo-referee like baluke bayenza nabakhosta ama-team like baluke bayenza mistake. I think VAR will minimize the problems that our referees have in the country. Abantu nabo, like, they're not perfect. They bound to make mistakes now and then. As ngisho vele ukuthi ublessa miyakasho ukuthi like bayakhathala nabo labantu laba ukuthi ukugijima like wise. They need at least an assistant. I think the linesmen are not enough ukuthi bangasiza already because nabo self they have fault. They cannot see offside. Yeah, they cannot see njengoba khona le game amilidlala le foul le yenziwe le bayenze ukuthi ayilose le goal le yokugcina le.
Yeah.
I think they should quickly njengoba i-Europe i-VAR is not because like bayithathe nje just nje they bayithathe bayazi ukuthi they have to minimize the mistakes from the referees, although they still do those mistakes ngayo leyo VAR, but I think it's better minimized than ukuthi abe like abe maningi lawo ma mistake lawo.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Yaguza Pram. Let me read some comments. Hey, I've been getting hit for not reading the comments. Let's see. Soccer refereeing in South Africa is absolutely substandard and appalling. VAR will bring a change. This is not Sundowns show. They keep making silly and questionable mistakes. Something meaningful must be done. So you won't talk about Swallows' goal just because it's not Sundowns. Hate that it's called. Oh, SG. Hi, man. The only thing needed is the referee association. Refs must stand only with officiating. The new offside will bring chaos to the PSL. We need VAR assistance. Let's see. Swallows Kukune, that ref played gambling because it was not a goal. Mahango played the keeper, not the ball. The problem, some of my refs, is not full-time job. And then refs played Betway Hollywood, says Udapsa. Let me ask you, Agent 007. I want to get into it now. I want to speak about time, because when you think about it, there must be a significant amount of training that referees have to do, but also there needs to be a significant amount of refresh, of review, of getting ready and all of that. Like, can you imagine now you've had a hectic week this week, and now they tell you, hey, 7 o'clock, you must be at Masterpieces to go ref. How do you feel about the training aspect of this and also not having these refs be full-time?
Yeah, I think so in a normal game, obviously, what happens? You ref the game. After refing the game, you have to write a report, after reviewing the game, So the question, I think that's where it starts now, between admin and the ref, that, okay, fine, we have taken the report and we are seeing that it looks like offside is shy the ref, man. What can we do? You can't be having workshops every three months or every 6 months, By then the issue has gotten worse, and suspending refs does not necessarily solve the issue. It can caution people, but it does not solve the issue. So I think, in some of our jobs, some of us have what you call CPD scheme as a continual program development thing, where on an annual basis or on a 6 months basis, there are certain exams that you write, there are certain standards that you need to refill, so that you are up to scratch with the market, Excuse me. I saw a ref someday wanting to do a contested drop ball. That thing is outdated. It's not even on FIFA, or, So it gets back to the question of, at what intervals do our refs get updates on the new laws and implementing them? And then again, it's not just about reading them laws, it's all about practicing, how do they practice, Why don't we give them,
But can we trust people? Can we trust people who have full-time jobs on the side to be as? Can you imagine if you had to do the CPD on top of something else and another job, and that's a whole nother skill set? Can we trust that they're getting enough time in order to be able to look at these things fully and properly?
No, that's the point that I wanted to get at. That as often with the case of misplaced priorities by SAFA and PSL, we're at a point where the league is professional, So it's high time we make our referees professional also, You can't have an amateur driving a Ferrari, it's bound to crash sometime, or a car sport. So, and it doesn't make sense that, every referee every month gets 4.9 every month, and then they're paid on commission. And they're saying something around 6 point something per match, and which means if you have 4 matches in a month, you get 24,000. And you'd have a Kolobadi, or what is this guy who likes Chiefs? What is this guy's name? The one with an afro and shorts.
Okay,
yeah, that one, you know him. Yeah, he refers, let's say 12 games, he gets 73,000. Why not amortize that and say, you know what? I'm going to be giving refs on average, say 30,000. And, a ref will have to decide and say, you know what? As a school teacher, what am I getting? As a police officer, what am I getting compared to a referee, And then decide which one you want, because there's a whole long list of referees, that are waiting on sidelines. And it comes back to the question that you raised yesterday, that professionalism, that, it comes from development, amateur, then professional. At what point do we say, okay, fine, I know I'm not gifted in football, but I love football, which means I can ref. So there's an academy for referees there, so I can enroll in it. And you have an academy for refs, So I think, yeah.
Okay. Hendrik, I've got the same question for you. How much can we trust that people with full-time jobs are going to do enough training, are going to be able to do these things as they would as full-time people? And is that some of the issue? And also, Agent 007 raises a very good point that how these people are being paid on commissions and all of that stuff. Shouldn't they just average it out and say, guys, these are the referees, you guys work full-time, then that means that Monday to Friday there's ref work that's been put in, there's reviews, there's video, what analysis, there's all of these things. How much does it play into all of the factors that these guys are not full-time?
007, Ujeli Javani doesn't like Chiefs. Ujeli Javani does his job, Baba. Whether you are the original my brother, name. I think most people here, we talk, but we don't know what's happening. Because I saw this comment. They say that in the EPL or in England, they hire their referees full time. That's not happening. You can go and Google it. There are only specific referees that are hired as full time, and then most of those referees, are what we call casual workers. They are doing the same thing South Africa is doing. You would find that in England, like your famous referees, the ones that usually have games that they are gonna have, like your Martin Taylor, those ones are the ones that are permanent ones. And then when there are games, like let's say for example, they have what we call Gold Rush. In England, they have what we call Gold Rush, where you will have about 7 teams or maybe 6 teams playing in one day. That's where they will ask those referees that are casuals to come in. So I would say 90% of the EPL referees are not permanent. They are just casual. Same as PSL. Like Victor Gomes was one of the referees that I could say was permanent in South Africa. Like for instance, he was refereeing more games than other referees. It's Victor Gomes that I know in South Africa. It was Victor Gomes, Jelly Chovani, and the other guy, I forgot his name. So South Africa also has. They also have those referees that they are on their disposal anytime soon, and then they have those ones that they call them on as casuals. You understand? It's happening everywhere.
But isn't that an issue though? Because the underlying thing that we're saying is that there's different levels of referees. So couldn't I complain and say, I don't want a casual for my league game that can decide whether I am relegated or not? Shouldn't we have these guys be full-time, all of them?
One thing I can say, I don't think that they will ever do it like that. We should be like that, but I don't think they will ever do it like that, because it's like, even for a company, a big company, a company that I work for is one of the biggest company in South Africa. It's a resort. And one thing I can tell you is they would rather hire a casual to do some touch-ups somewhere than to actually hire that person to work full-time. It's a company thing. It's happening in England, in everywhere. They save more when they do. So imagine paying someone monthly and then that person will only ref 2 games. You see,
but
it's a loss from their side.
How many games we have, though? They know exactly how many games. They can ration it out. They can give them equal games if they have to, but they know how many games are going to play anytime.
Yes, but you've got, like I said, they had what? They had Victor Gomes to their disposal and Abu Denichevan. So it means majority of those games are going to be revved by their permanent workers, not their casual workers. You understand? So I think with the referees that normally rev in some games there, you don't know that referee, you don't know that linesman. They are casuals, my brother. They just say, you're bringing this referee, he has a certificate for refereeing, what, and then they put him on the game. Like, it's what all the companies do. One thing that I want PSL to do, number one, to make sure that this thing is done properly. Number one is this: they must hold these referees accountable. I think they know nothing is going to happen to them if they make mistakes. They should be held accountable. If you make a critical mistake that will cause a team like the one that happened with Swallows, face the repercussion. Like now with England, the referees that the referees that were cost Wolves the game, they are dropped now. So make it a consistent thing.
Well, we'll come back. We'll come back for accountability. It's actually one of the questions I want to ask, but I want to stick on this thing. Do our referees get enough time to train, to review? Do they get enough time for all of these things in order to make their jobs better, or to at least perform better?
I doubt it. I don't think they do, my brother, because if they were doing it, like this thing of accountability would have been applied long time ago. Like the boss would have went like, but we did revisions, but we did this. We were at team building. We were telling you guys, this is wrong. This is what. That's why I think PSL is not punishing them, because they don't do things like that, which is things that they must do. You understand? So I doubt that they like you said, I doubt that they are being shown those things, like revising, like what I said there. I doubt PSL doesn't put so much effort into it. You're right when you said they can get a random person who's a Sundowns fan, like like the team now Sundowns is benefiting. So they could get someone that's a Sundowns fan, and then that person will rev that game and then will cost another team the game. You understand? So, so man, it's very dangerous, and I think, like I said, don't laugh, my brother. And like one thing that I said is they must do background checks on this referees, my brother. Social media deep down background searches and everything to find out what they know about this specific referee when they put him on a Kaizer Chiefs game, a Mamelodi Sundowns game, a Pirates game. You understand? So a deep research must be done onto these referees, and then they must also a lot, because they are playing with us. We are playing Bidway. He has Chauna left, right, and center, and someone comes and then cost us. Only 007 is benefiting. All seven is gonna benefit.
Let me bring it to Plessa. Abutaka, can you just speak about this training, man? But do they have enough time to do these reviews, to do this training, to do all of this stuff? Or is it just the problem issue? But to Baba Bereka part-time, you have to come from work. You come from work, then you have to study on the side. How do they make sure that these guys are getting all of the time and everything that they need in order to be good?
the host that Jason Aling,
Yeah.
it is like when you are a tutor. If you are not giving yourself enough time to go through whatever you'll be teaching the kids, or anyone who will be seeking a hand, I wonder gore di ka tla more easy or easier gore to rute bana ka moswana. So as this referees, I'm still standing on the thing. I was like, if ever Bagabale a good time and the good preparation, I bet you're going to have the best referees in the country. For an example, if you can check Victor Gomes, you can see that guy was more passionate on whatever he was doing. He'd linked with the new rules of FIFA.
Yeah.
So you would see that this guy is more passionate on whatever he was doing. There was no Victor Gomes who got almost from FIFA asking about it. If you can just know them almost FIFA, who got this Women FIFA World Cup, ne? But then come on, what now offside? Come on, what now? Sashalaje Moroka good chependa hore. Papa like you go fitlhelele. Because ababele nako ye enough or lebelela the game, for example, the game, ne? Sonje bele nako one enough or the game jarao. The second thing, sonje ulinke, go link go the research to check the latest rules of FIFA. Or now FIFA erring. And the third one, Safa I jelly very jarna the workshop. Company to man go jot workshop ne. But that company it low wula. Ka motlhomo banya ka wula mine. Again. So banya ka train about. Sonjo ba share workshop ba train for a certain time. Why would the return sabe one time hudo? That's my question. Why Safa as a big company? It's a jet reverjarna. Yeah, the trainer. We train these drivers big time for a long time before the league can start. Let's check the foul of Swallows against Sikukun.
Yeah.
I was there. I saw everything. Mahango didn't play football. He played the goalkeeper. Was it that the foul? A clear foul. But then I want to tell you, I want to by revealing what no Mahango what go like the excuses. Okay, last two play something since I was like how about Safa Etomero check out the video the DSTV? I get we are broadcasting by DSTV. Why is I with DSTV I link those videos? If ever VAR is so good issue. Aba go DSTV muntinga DSTV ba link on and get that DSTV wanted highlights. It link up but wanted highlights that much to go too much or like is it that really foul or it is not a foul? In terms of everything, the fault did you want and the mistake did you want JD. Hey, the guys do this about one. So Wagan next Sagatala don't know the reverter now a good workshop. And what's what Mujisha? What's what Mr. Ornike? Which team do you support? If I'm a Mamelodi Sundowns fan, then there is no game that I can rev of against Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah, maybe give them one. If I don't like whatever FIFA Sundowns, if Sundowns if I got legally Chiefs or Pirates or maybe Skukuno Super Sport, the game time would over away from John. About what was Skukune, Bobo Super Sport United, Koroska or our team it benefit don't get the points.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
That show. I mean, I'm going to laboratory. They don't have enough time, man. They don't have enough time. They don't have enough training. Yes, when you work a full-time job, I can only imagine trying to do these things part-time, nakona. How much would change if these referees became full-time and they were given more time with their profession? You could just unmute the show. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, kungatshentsha kakhulu baba if they can give them ama-permanent posts because you know now masemsebenzini ne kuwo lo msebenzi loyo msebenzi you will make sure ukuthi you minimize ama-riski ukuthi uluze umsebenzi, you understand.
Yeah.
So I think they can get ama-permanent posts, ingabaphusha ukuthi basebenze ngokuzikhandla even though bangathi ufavor ini. I think lento leyo I would disagree namajida kulento leyo ukuthi kumele bathathe umuntu if maybe akafavor Chiefs ayo or ufavor Chiefs angaredi game ale Chiefs ngoba lapha like professional even nama-footballer khona lawo mewadlalela mewafisa ukuthi adlalele i-Pirates mara khona manje adlalela i-Chiefs. So I think they must be professional kulento leyo. Ngisho abantu vele abakuthi amajita like angekho perfect if vele babangabagaya vele ama-permanent iligi ingahamba cause akekho umuntu ofisa ukuluza umsebenzi unlike yabona njengoba basebenza maybe uyi-one yi-security uyi-one uyasebenza lapho uyazi ukuthi if bayamsuspenda laphaya ku-PSL usanomsebenzi he still got some job. So I doubt ukuthi labantu laba like some of them abasebenza two jobs like they care about ukuthi bayenzeni kulama game lawo abawamoshayo, you understand. So it would be easy and I also think it would be easy if lento yabo referee bayenze njengasebholweni like kube nalabantu abayengenela isikole from a young age, you understand. Bakhule nayo baba njengasesoccer vele under 13 14 like acoach maybe under 13 acoach i-16 acoach under 19 aloke akhuphuke until aba i-graduate vele ukuthi abe I think that can also help ngoba khona manje I think sithatha abantu laba sebabadala, understand, sibathatha sebadala nje abanye they had no knowledge ngesoccer like they grew up maybe bayibheka mari ama-rules in like they but at some point umuntu wakhona bamthathe ahambe ayo-refera abameshi ama-blind asuka lapho. I think into emele like umuntu akhule ayenza or akhule athanda loke ayenza vele until vele
there we go.
mengeke ube nendaba if une-business and then ngapha uyareva if bayacosha lapha ku-referee uyabayeka nabo uyahamba do your business and stuff. So I think it might help.
Okay, no, I hear you, my brother. Let me go back to Agent 007. In 007, let's talk about accountability, man. Week in, week out, people are getting away with things. Week in, week out, we're seeing offside goals. We're seeing there's problems every day. What type of accountability is in the PSL for the refs, and what should be implemented to help them out on accountability?
Yeah, I think let me take it from the top. I was laughing earlier on, and when someone sent me something, he said, "How old are you?" And he sent me this video of CC. Some of us used to wake up to Cebo Manyapelo, Sadula Tabili.
Don't expose yourself, Chief. Don't expose yourself, Chief.
So it goes to the point that I wanted to make that there was a report. Ronnie is asking you to add him. He's saying
I'm
he
gonna
wants
add
information.
him in the second round because I know he knows a lot.
I think he wants to contribute. Maybe he's like, if we don't know these people, but
he deals with them. I'm gonna add him. I just wanna, yeah.
So there was a report, not a report, but an investigation in 01, and investigating refs bribing and stuff like that. The report was never released. To this day, it's not even released, and it was held by then Motaung, if I recall well, and even Khoza now still hasn't released the report, and we know, I don't want to say name, but we know this light-skinned ref also resigned because he failed what is this report that you guys do on to check if you are lying? Pulley something.
Lie detector. Or
Yeah, lie detector. Yeah, lie detector.
Polygraph.
And he was asked about polymath. Yeah, he was asked about the bribery around Pirates. And people looks like we are now woke that people are benefiting because of Sundowns now, but teams have been benefiting for a very long time, including the Romans Cup. The Romans Cup, that dream is still a goal. But back to accountability. My problem is, how do you make someone accountable when you're not training him enough? Imagine if you want to hold a doctor accountable, but you trained him for 1 year. For a degree which takes 6 years, and like the sense of your case, I saw there was a forensic officer who has never went to training, and he was being held accountable for mishandling specimens. He hasn't gone to school to do that, So for us to get to a point to say, okay, fine, the referee needs to be held accountable a bit more, is when we have done enough so that we say, okay, fine, this is not a mistake. I mean, this like, there's something wrong with you, not us, But now the problem is the system, And remember, these people they have to make a decision in a split second. Like, the grand Kekana goal, I thought it was an offside rule, seeing that, the first replay, but second replay, so, it came from an opposition player. But you are a ref, you have 1 second to make a decision. And there's noise, there's pressure, there's everything, How do you reduce that, And we know the refs now, what they've done is they get suspended for 1 game, they lose the 6,000, and next game they're back, Is that enough of a punishment? For now, I would say yes, it is, because it's losing 6,000. But in future, when you've trained them, when you've done everything possible, then we can increase it. But I think it will be wrong of us to increase the punishment to say 2 games, 3 games or life when they don't have enough proper training. Yeah.
Okay. No, I hear you. Hendrik, you had brought up the accountability point. How do we hold referees, linesmen, fourth officials accountable for mistakes that they may make?
My brother, I think how we should handle this, ne? I think if we say every mistake they should be held accountable for it, I think we're gonna be a little bit cruel because they are humans after all. This is why I think this is how I think it should happen. Like, questionable mistakes are the ones that they should be punished for. Like this incident of Umango, that ref should have been punished for. Like things like tight offside decisions, we can't actually blame the referee. When the player is maybe 6 feet away from the defender and it's offside, that's where we can blame the linesman. But with tight spaces, because we don't have VAR, with tight spaces, my brother, it's where we can say, well, you know what, this is an honest mistake. You understand? We can't punish the referee because Ushauli was a hand offside and then he couldn't see it because there's no replay, there's no VAR. You understand? So we should punish them on questionable mistakes, like those 6 feet offside. Like this person is 6 feet offside, but you still give the goal. Like the Mango incident recently. Like it's mistakes, my brother. But I think it's the questionable ones that they should be punished for, and then that's it. Not by punishing them, being harsh on them. Like even on fouls, now you could see or no, this person that foul. The referee could have seen it because the referee is looking at the play. You understand? Like the Angela Jali one. The referee was looking at the play and then he saw that Angela Jali tackle was rough. You understand? And he was given a red card. You understand? Now, hence, he was looking at that tackle and giving Angela Jali a yellow card. That's why he should be punished. But there are things where you could see no, the referee couldn't actually pick that up. The linesman couldn't actually pick that up, like an honest foul, not a foul that could maybe land someone in the hospital. They should be punished for questionable decisions, like harsh tackle, like obvious offside decisions, like also, like I said, this other one, the foul on the goalkeeper made by Mango. They should be asked questions about that. But honest mistakes, let's be honest, even in the Premier League before VAR, like teams were benefiting. Even they usually call my team the benefiter, Liverpool. They usually call Liverpool the benefiters of referees' mistakes, because it's happening. People can make certain mistakes. Like someone would be offside by a hand. You understand? Listen, like it's an honest mistake, bruh. But if that person
But
is 8 feet off,
shouldn't we be worried that so many? It almost feels like whenever you watch a PSL game now, something big is going to happen, or there's going to be a decision that could take away a goal, that could cause a goal, that could change a result. Isn't that a bit worrying? Like, we've always had issues, but it's like it feels maybe, even though we've only played the 2 games, it feels that this season, man, there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, no, it's worse. I would say it's worse. That's why I said that they must provide them with training. We also said that they must provide them with training. They may not be full-time workers, but provide them with training. Let's say, for example, you've done a roster. This person is going to be coached by you, OT. It's going to be coached by you. And then the next game is going to be coached by 007, right? Before that game, sit them down. A week before that game, sit them down when they have time. And then say, we are going to go over the rules. No matter how hard they get tired, we're going to go over the rules. We're going to go over this. We're going to go over this. What happens when this happens? Like revision. Understand? PSL doesn't do that. That's why it doesn't hold some of these referees accountable, because it's going to come back and bite them. They don't do those sort of things. Understand? So what I think that should be done is PSL should do more training, because referees are costing us games more than the players now. Referees, linesmen, they are costing games, costing us games more than any player now. Understand? So I think what should happen now, they should train these referees a lot, and they should do revision a lot, so that when they punish these referees will not see it as unfair. You understand? So they must do that as simple as ABCD. One other thing that I would like to say is this: we must not punish them for silly mistakes. Like, you see that person is an inch offside, and then the referee could have seen it. Come on, guys. Come on. Like, we should be reasonable sometimes. Like, there are human mistakes, and then there are outrageous mistakes. Like the one of Mango. That one of Mango is an outrageous mistake, my brother. Everyone saw it, or that one was a definite foul on the goalkeeper. So they should be punished for those sort of mistakes.
Okay. Let me bring you Zesho. Zesho, accountability. How do we hold these guys accountable? Should they make mistakes? Should they continue making certain mistakes? If the league sees a pattern of a mistake, how do they hold them accountable?
I think njengoba mekasho Hendrik lapho amanye ama-mistake uyabona ukuthi ama-human error vele, understand, and then amanye ama-mistake uyabona ukuthi ama-silly mistake. I'm talking about that same game yeSwahili. I'm failing to understand ukuthi how come a linesman and a referee, both of them, they didn't see that. Comes to lento leyo ukuthi believe lento le yama envelope, but I'm starting to believe it, because amanye ama-mistake vele ama-silly mistakes. I think such referees, like they must be suspended or bababhene, because like bamosha igame because of simple decisions they have to take. Even nami mengizoyithatha immediately that decision if I was a referee. It's careless ukuthi referee abone decision as simple, and then I ignore, and then the whole world is watching, or the whole country is watching. Then I'm not sure how do they feel about that, because it's destroying our football. Yeah, if vele njengoba ubudaqeda ukusho ama-mistake nyana a few nyana kuyazwakala, because we don't have ama-VAR. They bound to make lawo ma-mistake lawo, but come on, khona amanye ama-easy decisions amele athathwe, ama-startup decisions amanye nokubona ama-startup decisions umuntu avele aze ngestarti bangamnikeli quad. There was this game mamelodi Sundowns ne-Chiefs, a foul on to Patrice from Ukhuliso Mdau. I think it was another game footy we played. I think it was it cheaper? Yeah, I think it was cheaper. I think that guy came on top of who was it? I forgot. And then such things like they need to be checked, because some decisions are and they are carrying and they are
Career ending.
decisions because bazogcina balimaza abanye abantwana and then abanye abantwana abasadlala. So aba-referee kumele bathathe this game serious sometimes because bekile sonke sibhekile nabantwana ababhekile khona abanye abantwana abazothi bakhula bafuna ukufana nalaba referee laba bathatha kahle, but when they start doing some bad decisions, I think it's affecting all of us as fans, as coaches, as players, because nabo bayalose ama-points, abanye baya-knock out from kuma knockout. So ku-difficult futhi ukuthi kuba abantu ukuthi babacoshe or something because nabo basishwa abantu, they make mistakes and they need those double jobs ukuthi basurvive. Wonke umuntu ayidinga imali. And to come to ama-teams, I think ama-teams like they must stop being cowards ngalento yabo ukuthi when they are going to a certain game, then they must give abo referee imali. I think nabo abo referee they are taking that money because I'm sure njengoba mekasho u-double agent lapho u-agent 007 ukuthi labantu laba like bahola imali encane. So if i-team yeza ngu-referee and then i-team ithi Stumza nayi 20,000 la ngizoyithatha OVF 20,000 for that game yana leyo ngizohamba ngiyoyidlisa i-team. I think that must be checked futhi njengoba ukuthi bathe they will go through that thing ba-check ukuthi kwenzakaleni ngalelo game. I think nalezo zinto zabo ziyafeyila like ne-management ye-PSL nayo abantu baphethe abaphethe. I think like they're failing us. Seeing these mistakes happening from last season, they costed many teams last season. If Marisburg maybe McMele win some 2-3 games, maybe babajashe ama-offside ngoba abekho labakhona ngoba bala. So I think that thing mele investigate kakhulu because it's causing ama-pockets amanye ama-team bayalimala. It's causing like i-havoc like for real, like ayikho right. They must ukuthi badile ngabo abo because even now emsebenzini ayithola i-warning. So I think they must get i-punishment inyana ukuthi bakhona uku-upper igame yabo the next coming games or so.
Okay, no, I hear you, my brother. Thank you so much to the first panel. We're going to move into the second panel now and carry on the discussion. For me, I just feel like, again, it's one of those things where I don't think enough has been done in developing the refs. I don't think enough is being done in holding them accountable after things. And I tend to disagree with the other guys. I disagree with the other guys because things like offsides are the bread and butter of the game. Those are the things that you need to be getting right properly because that influences so much. The other stuff I hear you, but hey, I'm offside and things like that are the everyday things that we need to be perfect with. Maronza, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good at you, man.
No, I'm okay. Firstly, I'm going to ask you two things in your opening. Firstly, your quick general thoughts about reffing in SA very quickly. And then secondly, to continue on the conversation, will technology help us in any way here?
Look, in the modern day of football, right? Yes, technology needs to be involved. There's remember a referee has few seconds. When you're looking at the TV, it is different when you're in the field of play. The same thing as a player, whereby when you are sitting there, sitting on the stands or sitting in the couches, very different. Referees are human beings. I've been in the refereeing industry maybe for 16 years.
Yeah.
I ref the MDC also. I've kissed a little bit of allied panel, a little bit. So I've been there. So there are so many things that are happening in refereeing, and I need to clear the air. PSL do not have referees.
Yeah, it's
PSL they don't have referees. Do not talk about PSL when you're talking of referees because you're contradicting the two.
Okay.
You can't talk of PSL and talk with the referees. So PSL they hire referees from the SAFA to come and ref for them. You understand me? So that's what I can tell you. So the second part is there's so many things, man. I needed time, but that's what I can give you now. That we need that. Referees are human beings, and there's so many things that Safa is doing which is wrong. And I hear people are blaming about referees. Referees is the same as players. They are developed as same as players. They are developed as players. For you to be a referee, you go to the LFAs, you join from there, and then Safa, they cater you, and there's a referees panel, which means there's a referees department in every region. So you need to be part of that, and then you affiliate to be a referee. Then you use your own, you go and buy those things, and then they field you, and then you go and ref and all that. As LFA, they have to pay you from that. So that's what I can tell you for now. But if you want more, I hear people talking about the Mango's goal. I won't blame the assistant. The assistant is not there to insist, but to assist. That's one thing. So the referee has a better view on that game. The referee is supposed to overrule the assistant, simple as that, because he has the better view. But I'll talk more when time is right, and
No.
you know what, I'll give you more details about this thing about refereeing and all that, because I see people they are confused, and they maybe it's because of they never being into the same situation that I was. What I can tell you is that there is a stipend for referees. It is 6.5 to 7,000 rand, which is on monthly. Which reveal or revang, as long as you are braving the NFD, the PSL, you have to get that money. The money for the referees in the PSL is 4,000, 3.5, 4,000 to 4.2 per game. So if you review Saturday, you got 4.2, which is being taxed, and then Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, you got another one, and then the other one. So you have the stipend, and then plus those two, which means you'll be around 22,000 a week. So that's how they get. That's how much they get. So
2,000 a month or a week?
No. It is 7,000 to if it's not by then it was 7,000 6.5 a stipend. So it is a stipend, and then you get it even urevile or urevang as long as you are in the panel, in the Excel panel or in the national panel, you get that 6.5. So when you go to a game, they book for you, you travel and all those things, and then after that, when you finish the game on a monthly basis, they will pay you according to the games. So that's 6,000 plus maybe it is let me say 3.2 per game. So if you review Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, and another Saturday, you have 3 games plus that 6.5. So you have 1,000 plus 6,000, which is 15,000. So you get it per week. So Visa Gold was running 4 games per week, right?
Okay.
For example, when you
okay.
become a photo official, you automatically, you understand? So yes, on Saturday you are a referee in the middle. On Sunday you are a photo official. So that's 2 games. Do you understand me? Wednesday you are a ref. Saturday you are. So it's 4 games. So plus that step, and so it's around 12,000 per week, and then plus that 6,000 rent, and then you get it is around 20,000 per week. So they're getting a lot of money. It is that because of the tax and all that, right? So referees, they run a fitness test on twice in the season. Twice in the season, they run a fitness test. Before the league start, they have what do you call it? They have 2 weeks in the book for them for 2 weeks, and then they teach them the new laws of the games, because in June, every June, there is new amendments or addition towards the laws of the game. So this FIFA add something towards the laws of the game, and then after that they go for that 2 weeks, and then they go and rehearse everything. They go and train and all that. But by then, that is only for the national panel referees. That 2 weeks.
We're gonna come back. I'm gonna come back just for time's sake. Just for time's sake. I think we'll properly go through it. I just let's go through this and let everybody speak. Then I think maybe in the closing statements you can go a little bit deeper. Richie, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
Hi, sir. I'm good, man. How are you?
No, I'm okay. I've got two questions for you. Very quickly, your general thoughts about reffing in South Africa, and then will technology help us with anything?
Yeah. On an honest note, I think as much as we put in so much time for the football, you understand, the players, we should do the same for Abo Ref. Workshops, you understand, workshops that you educate these guys. I'm talking from a grassroots level now.
Okay.
I'm talking from a grassroots level. There's an app with the laws of the game, which is IFAB, International Football Association Board. You can download it also. It's on. You can download that app. It gives you all the laws of the game, from goalpost to your field and everything. But just to answer your question, I feel, for me, if you make a mistake and it contributes to the result of the game,
Yeah.
you must be punished. You must be punished. You understand? Because that's the only way you will learn on how to not repeat the same mistake. You understand? Because now we're going to say, yeah, but that was a small. It's a small mistake. I understand we are human. You are humans, but this is a game of football. That result that you contributed in might contribute to that team either being relegated or not winning the league, or else the team winning the league. So you need to take accountability and accept that you're going to be punished for a mistake that you have done. Our refereeing is not the worst. You understand? It's not the worst, but it is not the best either. You understand? So I would say our refereeing in this country is average. It's average, but if we can start at the grassroots level by making sure these SAFA officials in each region, they go to the communities and they educate young up and coming referees. I think when they get to the professional level, it wouldn't be as difficult as it is at this moment. You understand? It is. Now when I would agree with Oroni when it comes to technology, I'm not sure if it was Oroni, but when it comes to technology helps. But technology can kill too. You understand? If you look at VAR, there's benefits of VAR. There's advantages and there's disadvantages. Yeah, but we've seen it overseas. We've seen how it happens overseas. But I think it's something that is needed in our country at this moment. We can't be having silly mistakes. I don't want to use the word even silly, stupid mistakes like the mango thing. I mean, as a referee, sometimes you use your own initiative. You don't even need to go to the law book, but you can use your own initiative and see that, hi man, this guy is being pushed. You understand? Because in no way did Mango even go for the ball in that situation. You understand? His interest was not going for the ball, and we all know what kind of player Mango is. He takes chances. You understand? And then you get to the one of Peterson with Chiefs. Look how far the linesman is, and look how near the referee is to the play, but the linesman makes a decision for the referee. You see things like that. You understand?
You know what scared me? Do you know what scared me about the Peterson one? What scared me about the Peterson one was, even when I saw it on SABC, I think they were discussing at SABC, the Soccer Zone part, even with the replays and all of that stuff, there was no definitive way to tell that there was right or wrong. I saw Andile going back and forth with the Uhlongwane, right? So in those cases, man, I think the technology is needed more for those cases than the other ones, because even on the replay they were arguing, and you sit back and you go, but guys, you know.
Yeah, because even if you look you look at the angle of the cameraman, look at the angle of that camera that comes from the top and looks down on the goalkeeper of Skukune. You understand? You can clearly see that is a goal, but there was a foul on the goal. On the Peterson one, there's no one angle for the camera that gave us a clear view to see that, okay, Lena, it's a goal. You understand? So technology is needed for those things. You are right, my man.
Okay, let me go into VJ Sport Chat. Welcome to the show. How are you doing? VJ, you can just unmute there. Okay, I think there we go. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
No, I'm good. Two questions. Firstly, quickly, just a quick summary of your thoughts of SA reffing, and then secondly, is technology going to help us?
Okay, one, the standard of refereeing in South Africa, I'm going to divide it into two. One, we produce good referees. I mean, we've got referees who represented us, Kuma World Cup, or referee, us represented Kuma AFCON, finals and so on. So we produce good referees. I think what fails the refereing standard in South Africa is the management of the refereeing. For example, how the PSL or the SAFA, I know proactive measures to learn from mistakes. For example, the incident, yes, Swallows, we can say it's a someone can say it's a goal, someone can say it's not a goal, but it can be a goal because, I mean, contact is allowed in football, right? When contact is allowed in football, how much contact? You get my point. And where is contact allowed? Like go up in 18 area. Like if it was outside, like anywhere in the 18 area, and there was that amount of contact, it wouldn't be a penalty. So I'm not saying that the decision was wrong or right. I'm just saying the PSL or the SAFA must come up with better measures to manage their referee mistakes. And then our referees generally are top-notch referees, you know what I mean? So but mistakes will be there because they are human, right? So coming to technology, I think technology, it will minimize the mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And then it will minimize our mistake. But then in a disadvantage, why? You get my point. So, but I think that the disadvantages, the advantages outweighs the disadvantages, right? So, for example, some people they say it takes out fun. Like, for example, if someone scores a goal and then the goal has been ruled out. Yeah. You get my point. Yeah. And then you celebrate, and then that was for Mahala. But then if you celebrate again, you still celebrate again, you still get joy out of it. But that's arguable. You get my point. But I think the advantages outweighs the advantages outweigh the disadvantages.
Isn't then the issue if we've only got a handful of guys who are full time, and then you've got a whole bunch of other people who are part-time, isn't the issue then that when you bring in VAR, there's a lot of training that has to come in and certifying them and doing all of that stuff? Won't it just add a bit more? Like Ronnie was saying, 2 weeks before season starts, they go through everything. Imagine what happens when a VAR is introduced.
Yeah, it will be some sort of a chaos, but I think it will have to be like professionalized, like you become a referee full time. You get my point, so that you can deal with mistakes. You can properly manage the refereeing in South Africa, because our referees are good. It's just that the system, the way things work, it failed them. Even the mistakes are not that much in the PSL, but it's just the system. It fails the referees because there's no proactive measures after the game. We don't learn from the mistakes of the referees. How can we improve every week? How can we improve and not make sure that we don't make that mistake? Besides punishing the referees, but there should be measures to make sure that it helps the referees to improve, to make better decisions.
Okay. Malome Kuto, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm well, and how are you, Mr. OT?
I'm okay. Kabana network is busy jumping in and out.
I'm even nervous. Sorry, I must just get these points in before it hits me again.
So, 2 questions. First one must be quick. What are your general thoughts about refereeing in SA? And then the secondary part is then where you can be a bit longer. What is the impact of technology on this? Would technology help us with any of this?
All right. Refereeing in SA, it's very difficult for me to just criticize in SA because I do watch international football and I think I'm free, and no disrespect to anyone, I'm free of European superiority.
Okay. Nazo? Ow. Gone. Network. Okay, I'm gonna come back to Malome Kuto. I'm gonna come back. Ronnie, how do we get here? Because for me, like I said, I know there's issues. We've always had things happen with refereeing, but it just feels like this season, and I know it's still very early.
Mr. OT.
Okay.
No.
I think try again.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that I do for the Champions League, UEFA. That is, the refereeing there is horrible, guys. What you see in the PSL, Kiddy showing shortly, guys. Trust me. I remember when referees could not interpret handball decision and Morata had scored using his hand in full VAR against Man City, and Man City were knocked out of the Champions League. The refereeing standard in SA is not necessarily as low as people make it out to be. Can I just go into these particular mistakes that are contentious at the moment?
Very quickly.
Mistakes are very difficult. The 2 Sundowns goals were extremely tight. The 1 year against Swallows, I said to the gents, I would have given it because of the type of run. But how when I replay, it is very tight. It's like a knee or something. The penalty, the offside Pirates against Chippa United, it's a split second when the pass is suddenly ahead of Ushandu and he's now interfering play. The one that people say it's stupid. If you look at that replay, when the ball goes up, you can't even tell when Sangare holds the ball. Is he already in the net by the time Umango makes contact with him? You understand? It's really difficult to tell did he land in the net and then Umango made contact? And I think that's the assistant ref's argument with time. And guys, that guy was already in the net when Mango bumped into him. You understand? And then there's the Chiefs one, which I'm like, guys, let's not lie to each other. I saw Kanaking. I saw these Mr. Spot On. Just say we don't have a conclusive angle. Why are you lying? Why are you saying clear goal? It's not clear. How are we saying clear? I can see it's not clear. They are showing me Nchapa and then you say clear goal. So I think those decisions, with VAR, they would have been made better. I'm going to the second part of your question. If we had VAR in this case, it would have made things much easier for the refs. But I've seen VAR at the World Cup. I've seen VAR go the Euros. I've seen go Champions League, EPL, you name them. VAR is not as straightforward. Ukamutu Are is too soft. What? They pushed that girl or too soft. There was a point called Women's World Cup, and they said, no, it's not a penalty, it's too soft. I was like, but it's pushing. Then the next ref comes back and says it's a contact sport. No, why are you pushing? You're getting an unfair advantage. You understand? What I think would also improve refereeing. It's a very difficult one, this one. The victim side. I've just thought of a term. The victim side. Okay. Because sometimes, because of how players... I've revved the game Kokasi. Recently, like a final. Some big tournament Kokasi. The players are just a nuisance. They're in your ear the whole game. You will want to clap them yourself to say, you're getting out of it. So there's this thing, you focus on one specific decision and you neglect the other. And I've seen a lot of refs where maybe, let's say, it looks like it's an offside. It's an offside. And then you go and look into the offside only to find out, which before that offside potential came through, there was a foul. And the captain, I think, should have the luxury to say, Rev, I don't have a problem with the offside. What I have a problem with is that there was a foul, or before he controlled the ball using his hand. Because sometimes the attention ref is so focused on this one point, only to find out where he's missing another point. You understand? Yeah,
But isn't that the role of a fourth official? Isn't that the role of a linesman?
The camera guys.
Because we've got four officials on every match, and I know there's other jobs that they do, but surely the fourth official, or I don't know if I'm wrong, I've seen some places where the fourth official will call the referee and say, hey, my guy, there was a foul over here.
And to actually even add more flesh to your question, if we had VAR, we'd have 4 more refs, right? In the VAR track or whatever, VAR, we'd have more, so it would be like 8. But what I'm saying is sometimes as a collective, we want to prove a specific point. And it would then take away the accountability issue against, if it's against Pirates. Pirates can say, but guys, it's a handball. Then we deal with the handball. It also puts Pirates in Mora to say, but when you came to us, Luena, you were just focusing on the handball. You didn't see the other stuff. I know players. But when you're being paid for it, but at least in that regard, we take care of that aspect to say, we gave you a chance to put your case forward and then let's deal with it.
Okay. Maronza, I want to come back to you. And I want to ask you a general refereeing question. Do you think it happens that after a week, like maybe last week, that the refs are then told, guys, you need to focus on the offsides, or guys, let's not be too harsh on cards and things like that? Does that happen? And then the second question is, how did we get here with our reffing? Because, like I said, it wasn't a lot. Like we'd have every now and then issues, obviously, right? But then it just feels as though there's a lot of them this season, and every match has something big that goes wrong. How did we get here?
Okay, then let me advise you what is happening. It's in every game, from ABC Motsepe going to PS as a match commissioner.
Okay. I just can't hear you there. Hey, Kana Road.
No.
Yeah, I still can't hear you.
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm saying from ABC Motsepe, NFD, PSL, as a match commissioner. The responsibility of a match commissioner, it is maybe a referee that revved before, who has an experience, who has been there, right? Yes, who knows in and out of refereeing, right? So his responsibility is to he doesn't watch the game. He doesn't watch number 10 playing very beautiful game and all that. He's looking at the referees, the mistakes of the referees. That is his duty And then after the game, you have to go to them, you analyze the game, you tell them the mistakes, you tell them how to run. Remember, there's a positioning in refereeing,
Yes.
not assistant. There's a side for assistant. There's no back pedal, it is side pedal, left and right. How you change the flag. There's a technique for flags and all that. I can tell you a new referee when he's revving there today, low motion because of the way he do the flag technique. So for an assistant, and another thing, it is not assistant, it is another official. So the other official must have a way of changing the flag, right? So the commissioner himself, his responsibility is to teach and try to improve or better the referees of the day. Do you understand me? That is their duty. The second part, it is the referees, right? Every day when they finish the game, they're given a tip to say, go and watch yourself and you improve yourself and all that. That is another thing. In a professional level, they have to give you. So you can go and review yourself and all that. And then the other part is, I was thinking of something. Yeah. So those are the aspects that improve. Oh, the other thing is, remember, a referee is the same as a player.
Yeah.
Game time is very important. When there's an off season, you need to go and ref because when you sit down, you get rusty. When you go back, it's either you fit, but you don't have game time. So that is where the problem is. Now I'm saying most of the referees that are raving now, the mistakes that we see is because of game time. They don't have game time within them. So they're making more mistakes because of that. But with time, when the PSL is going up and up and up, you'll see less mistakes because of game time. And the other thing is that the NFD has not started yet. That's another problem because there's more referees which are sitting at home, not officiating. So when the NFD start, then we'll see more referees having more game time in them. The ABC Motsepe, all 9 provinces has not started. So after the 9 provinces have started, you'll see more of good referees to say, oh, okay, now they don't have game time, and that is within. It's the same as Masbegela said, Pirates are paid. Same thing. They are human. You understand me? But another thing, every Thursday, this is my last point. Every Thursday, there's a review committee from SAFA that reviews all the games. Referees are being punished. Take my point. They're being punished. When ABC Motsepe start, they go to ABC Motsepe, and you lose that whole month. That you get a stipend of 6,000 rand. Then you go to ABC Motsepe, you stay there for a month, you come back again. Do you understand me?
But Baronza, shouldn't these things be fixed? Because, for example, like you said, like when you say it's 2 weeks before the league starts, or 2 weeks whenever they get taken through the rules, is that enough time, for example, to implement the rules, see it in action? What happens in this situation? What happens in that situation? When they get their review tape, shouldn't they be... the argument for full-time would be that for the next day, for the 8 hours, we have to figure out what these refs are going to do when they're full-time. So there's reviews, there's this, there's that.
Okay.
Shouldn't we be doing those things instead of waiting for the season to start for them to then start getting warm? And that time, you know, if I'm a team that gets relegated at the end of the season, and I think back to the beginning of the season when things were going wrong, I'd be like, but guys, I can't afford this. Millions are being lost for me.
Okay. The workshop for 2 weeks is for the alert panel or the referees on the national panel, right? What is happening is the LFAs, right? They have their own structures which they have to educate the referees and all that. Whether you are a PSL referee, you are a junior, you are what, you are an assistant, or you are a other official, you need to be. So when the laws of the game comes out, right? Every day, every week, which means you meet once a week as referees, whereby you discuss the laws of the game, the changes and all that, right? That happens. And on Saturdays before the game, sometimes there are LFAs which go and train and all that. That happens. All right. But the workshop, it is because of the national panel. So they bring somebody from FIFA who will come and explain. For example, Ian McLeod will come, blah, 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 and you finish. Then somebody from maybe Egypt come, this is what is happening. Somebody from Spain come, this is what is the, you understand me? That is how they do it. So they exchange with the commissioners. That's what they do. So they bring people from different countries to come and educate you more for that 2 weeks. Then you go and run the fitness test. Then the season start. So the LFAs, they're the one. The LFAs, let me say SAFA LFAs, they're the one who are failing the referees because they don't meet. There are LFAs which they don't even meet. They'll send you an SMS to say, Hamba Echabavu, your rev, Hamba Epito, your rev. You understand me? They don't even meet. After affiliation, you're done. They don't know you are training or what. Do you know the new amendment of the laws of the game? You understand me? So LFAs and even the LFAs, SAFA LFAs, they're the one who have the responsibility to say, are referees in a good standing when it comes to affiliation, training, knowing the laws of the game? The LFAs, which are run by SAFA. So they are responsible to know, are they doing the right thing? If the answer is no, why are you not meeting? Why are you not having meetings? Why are you not teaching the guys the laws of the games? That is the LFA's responsibility where you are affiliated. So that is how it is. So yes, I see referees are lazy. Other referees, they're doing it just to get Isinkwape's with that food. They don't have patience. It's just to go, you ref for 4 games, you get 600 rand, you go home. On Saturday, you get 600 rand. On what do you call it? On Sunday, you got 1.2. Then you're done. So that is happening.
Let me bring in Richie. I'll come back when I give you your closing. Richie, does it happen? Do you think it happens that refs carry these things into different weeks? And is that fair for me? Last week we had too many red cards about Bakaba, so this week Bachinchi Lebonk and they're thinking, "Hi man, it's different." Do you think that they have those things? And I want to ask again: should they be given more time to be able to implement these things, to be able to go out and have live situations of this, test out these things in life before they jump into the games?
Okay. First of all, as a referee, you shouldn't bring emotions into the game because emotions are going to kill you. You understand? As a referee, you shouldn't take what happened. For an example, if I give Uroni and VJ 2 red cards last week, and then the next week I'm doing a game for Itimka OT and Itimka Gongsh. I shouldn't be taking what happened last week into this game. You understand? Because my job as a referee is to get there and enforce the laws of the game. That's all. That's all that I'm there to do. I'm not there to be compromised and dictate the result of the game. That's not my job. You understand? Yeah. So I think I will agree with Oroni. Our LFAs are failing. Hence I said in my first statement that referees are like football players. You need to invest time in them at a grassroots level. You understand? You can't go take a 35-year-old, for an example, a 35-year-old that has been sitting and not doing anything. Then you just, today, I'm going to be a referee. You can't do that. You understand? You can't, because, as he said, these are people, these are human beings. As much as a player needs game time to get his groove, you understand, to get into that Richie vibe that I'm able to look tatabandum now when I'm on the field. Same as a referee. He needs a program where he needs to be match fit. You understand? And Uroni, what I like is he's putting it nice. Even though some of the guys here in the comment section are saying he has a soft spot for referees, but I think he's educating even us on how it works as referees, because some of the things he's telling us we didn't know. You understand? We don't know what these guys go through. But one thing I know is that every week, I'm not sure if Ronnie, correct me if I'm wrong, there's an assessment that they must write. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's an assessment that they must write. There's a workshop that they must attend.
Yeah, for you to rev in the ABC Motsepe, you need to have level 4. So there is certificates like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. For you to rev in the PSL, you need to have at least level 7 to level 6 going up. Then you go FIFA and all those things. So there's level. It's the same as coaching programs where the coaches have that, what do you call it? The certificates. Yes, the license and all that, the certificates. Yes, same thing. Same thing.
Yeah. So I feel when our OT, our LFAs are not educating the referees as much as they should. You understand? Because when last have you had a referee in the PSL that's 20 years old? You get what I mean? As much as we have players that play that are young, it should be the same with those others. You understand?
I'm more worried about the time. Like when we speak about them being the same as players, these referees, for example, the players do this every single day. They train every day. They have they have preseason. They play their games. They do all this stuff every single day. But my problem is, how then do I make it like that and have this be a proper thing? And I know we might be circling back to the full-time thing, but have it be that these referees every single day, even now, let's say the LFAs haven't started, the NFT hasn't started. Why isn't SAFA deploying these guys to games and saying, you know what, half time, or whatever, after the match, or however they're going to work it, be actively involved. You saw this, you did this. I feel as though, and the way it's sounding, it feels, refereeing is just the thing that you just, you do. Saturday, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, yafika. Then Uroni yafika, uyarefa. I give him his tape. He goes home. Whether he's done it on his own, whether he wants to do it on his own, it doesn't matter. We're going to call him again on Wednesday. Come be a fourth official here, right? When it's time for them to come into the PSL. Okay, 2 weeks before, we're going to have that big workshop where who present from FIFA, from wherever, right? But then in that 2 weeks, not all of them, I don't know, but not all of them are getting to be able to implement those things. So now the first time I'm seeing an implementation of this thing is when I'm live during a PSL match, and that scares me a little bit, because I feel like we're letting our referees off. Like I said about the fourth official, the whole point of a fourth official as well, amongst the other jobs of sideline and all of that stuff, part of his job is to also go, I'm outside, mbugele. So now I get to see other things. When last did you see a fourth official call a ref over and say, my guy, when it's not even, it's only when it's like a coach is misbehaving or technical team members misbehaving and they need to be sent away. It feels like, and I guess it's a lot of things in the league that feel like this, but it feels like it's not a real thing. Like it feels like you're halfway. I'm going to come back to you, Ronnie, just now. Let me just let Vijay in. Vijay, I had those two questions. Should referees react to issues in previous weeks? So is it fair for them to react in issues in previous weeks? So we saw that there were X amount of red cards given for this type of tackle. Guys, make it a yellow card. Should they be doing things like that? And then again, do they have enough time in their profession to do the things to get better in their profession?
I don't think that they do have enough time to sort of like practice. Like it will be good if like they have like something where they just see create like simulate like different situations in the game where it can challenge them. Look, a lot of like gray areas that happen in the game. You know what I mean? So I don't think they have enough time. I just think that they focus on the rules, and the FIFA rules, they've got so much gray area. You know what I mean? For example, how much is like what amount of contact is acceptable? You know what I mean? If you push someone, how much of that is acceptable? That's a gray area. You know what I mean? So there's certain gray areas. I think if PSL and SAFA, they should focus on improving the refereeing and then addressing the gray areas. On to say they react to what they've done, what happened last week. They give the yellow card or the red card to a specific tackle or something. I think that it's going to be a problem if it's not communicated to the public or the club, because this decision was acceptable last week and this decision is not acceptable. So, but as long as they go public and say that was a planned mistake that happened last week. So we've addressed the mistake, communicate to the public, and then say, and then the referees this week, they will react differently. You know what I mean? They'll react differently from last week. But if you don't communicate to the public or the clubs don't know what decisions have you made behind the scene, it will be a problem. That this week you've done this week you are doing this. So that's what I think.
Okay, no, I hear you. Maronza, I don't know if you understood what I was saying as well, but I'm going to give you guys a time for closing statements because I'm looking at time. What's your closing statement for this? Because for me, the more I do this show and the more we speak about things in the PSL, the more you realize, all right, some of these things, it's not taken as seriously as it should be.
Okay. Let me give you a hint, right? What is happening in the Ahly panel? Let's talk about PSL because I don't want to talk about the LFEs. Let me say in Gauteng, right? How many big tournaments do we have? How many big Tembisa, Soweto, and all that? Right?
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot. Referees, let me say Ahly panel referees, which are in PSL, they're raving those tournaments week in, week out. And then you go to let's go to Bloemfontein. There's no tournament, right? There's few tournaments, top 4 and all that. There's no crowd and all that, right? And then if we go to the Chiefs and Pirates game, who's going to be a better referee? The one who he's already in those big tournaments where there's big crowds and all that. So the problem that we are having in SA is that they don't look at those things. They want to have referees every province. That is the problem that we are having. And if you look at that problem, that the program that they're running, they want to have in all provinces, all angles, they must have a referee or 2 assistants and all that to be in the national panel, right? But are they good enough? If the answer is no, why are they in the NL panel?
That's true.
Let me give you something. In South Africa, there's 2 provinces which are good, if not 3. Right? Let me talk of Gauteng. That is the biggest in refereeing. Let me go to Cape Town. That is the second biggest. Let me go to KZN. Yes, right? And then the rest, they will follow. Right? the only challenge that they have, the other provinces, right? What they have is to rev ABC Motsepe. That's the highest that they rev or SAB. But do they have does the LFAs have the challenge? If the answer is no, then you never produce a good referee. Because
why not rotate them? I feel like that's a simple. Why don't they simply fix it by rotating them? Let's not have regional referees. Take referees away from regions, make it a national thing. I know it's going to cost a lot more money to rotate and accommodate and all that stuff, but it makes things better in the future.
How they rotate them, this is how they rotate them. They do rotate them, but on the last games. Think about it. Let me tell you what is happening. Last 4 games where there's a decider, all it in ABC Motsepe. They'll take referees from Gauteng to go and officiate in Lepompo.
Recently, deep end.
Yes, because why? You find that there's too much corruption there. Then they swap you to go and do that side. Because there's decider now, you decide in the game. But one thing I want you to tell you about is referees are human beings. There's 22 people inside the field of play, chasing one ball. Mad people, they're mad. When you're playing soccer, it's like you're mad because you are emotional. So you have to control emotions of 22 people inside the field of play. We go to the benches. You have to control those guys. You go to the crowd. People who are drunk holding their bottles. You have to control them. So as a good referee is the one that will make people to understand the decision that you took. Even if a drunk person is drunk, you say, but I'm a that's a good referee. But if you fail to do those things, then you're not a good referee for me. If you understand me, you're not a good referee. You are not. So a good referee is somebody who can do those things. That is the problem that we are having in the FA. That is the biggest challenge. And if we can change that thing, better the elephant. Don't talk about SAB. Don't talk about ABC Motsepe. Better the LFAs. SAFA must make LFAs to be better. When the LFAs are better, you'll have a better referees because the competition in the LFA, if it's good, which means even the referees will be good. You understand me? But if the LFAs are weak, then you want to say Hambo River, ABC Motsepe or SAP, then there's a challenge. Yeah, I hope you understand where I'm going.
No, I hear you.
Another problem, last part, payments.
Yeah.
Payments.
Yes.
Referees are getting paid less. I'm not talking about LF. I'm not talking about what do you call it? PSL. Let's go to LFA. LFAs, you find that they're paying 75 rand per game, which is 150. Fair enough. When you go to ABC Motsepe, you get 150, for example, or 200. You're traveling all the way. I've been saying this for a very long time. I'm from Soweto to Pitori. How much is that? It's 100, almost 150 for me to travel. And then you give me, which means I'm getting paid 50 rand. Right? And then you want to tell me when I get there, when they say they give me 3,000 rand, will I say no?
When the brown guy comes.
I hope you understand where I'm going. So they must better these things. If they do not better, then we'll have the weaker when it comes to referees. And the referees won't improve. And the very same referees that they are in the national panel, they did pass that stage of getting paid 50 rand. And then when they get to PSL and you promise me 30,000 rand, will I say no if go 3,000 rand? The answer is I hope you understand. I hope I'm not going to be arrested for this, but that is the truth. SAFA must change their ways of doing things. They must provide even the uniform to the referees. They must provide the training equipment to the referees as much as they have to provide the training equipment. They have to do that even to the referees. Simple as that. So they have to change those things. If they don't change those things, we'll cry until Jesus come back. I don't know when. And
that's why for me, as somebody, we've spoken about this before, and you've mentioned the refs before. What I don't understand is why the refs are not a national thing. So don't necessarily, LFAs can manage locally, but the people that they're managing must be controlled at a national level. Rotations must come from there. That's what I think. But yeah, Abu Safa don't want to pay money. They don't want to add money. They don't want to add on the admin that will help them out. But let me bring in Richie. Richie, what are your closing statements about this reffing issue?
I think the only way to motivate a person to work harder is to pay them well. Pay me well, I'll do well, my man. You understand? But if you don't, I will accept the brown envelope. You understand? Because you can't tell me if I come from Cape Town, I can't do a game in Johannesburg for 6,000 rand at the end of the month, where I get to Joburg. When I get to Joburg, Kaizer is gonna give me 50K. You understand? I've got a family to feed. I've got children to support. So I'm with you on saying SAFA needs to nationalize referees. You understand? Even if they say, like, for the season we're going to choose referees and make them the referees panel for that season. You understand? And we pay these referees this amount. Even if next year we change, you understand? Or maybe we keep 50% of what the referees we had from the previous season, judging on your performances. You understand? Judging on how you perform, because I understand these guys when they are not motivated, OT. You understand? Nothing is motivating them. All they are doing, they are being scrutinized for mistakes that they make, but at the end of the day, they're not getting any money. I won't say 6,000 is money when you have players that get more than 30,000. You understand what I mean? Yes, that's on a club level, but SAFA is our national base. You understand? SAFA is our federation in South Africa. So we need to nationalize our referees and pay them well, so that they can be motivated into taking this as a passion and taking this as a full-time job. Because if I'm a referee and on the side I'm a policeman, I mean, I'm both ends. I'm eating from both sides, so I can put in 100% on the other one and put in 30% on the other one. You understand? The end of the day, I'm getting my Maliam yok sela on the other side. So I think we need to motivate the referees by paying them well. About Danny needs to I don't want to go into Danny, but anyway, yeah.
No. I hear you, my brother. Let me bring in VJ. VJ, closing statements for today.
Yeah, guys. While you guys are talking about money, do you guys remember that? I think SAFA got a sponsor for the referees. I think it was like millions from insurance, and then there was an issue.
And they turned it.
PSL had an issue. You know what I mean? I don't think money is a problem in the PSL. It's just egos. You know, like fighting each other. I think there's the refereeing can be professionalized, and we can have like quality referees. And generally, we mostly watch the PSL and sometimes the NFD. The refereeing in South Africa, the referees are not bad, except for exceptional mistakes. Like if you remember last season, Royal AM situation. I don't know if you guys remember. During the Royal AM game, and this season, this few mistakes, but generally, refereeing in South Africa is good. It's not like when you compare to England, where the referees are big club biased. You know what I mean? In South Africa, I think we've got like I'll say that our referees are very professional when they are refereeing. I don't think they are big up bias. You don't see that. But overseas you do see that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think professionalizing the refereeing in South Africa is possible. It's just they have to sort out their issues, the PSL and the SAFA.
Okay. No, I hear you, my brother. Thank you so much for the panel. I think this is one that we'll have to have again because I think Ronnie can really teach us a bit more about this stuff. Part of the reason of this is to learn a bit more. Look, I think for me, again, I'm just sitting in my head thinking, here's another facet of the South African game that is not professional. That is not professional, right? How can, at the top of the game, there's a certain amount I get for stipend. I think it was 6,000 according to Ron. It was 6,000. Then you get X amount per game, right? Then to get those games, we're not even getting equal games. Some people get some more, other people get less because of different things, right? Different factors. Some people are professionally inside and some people are not. That's already, for me, an issue. When you look at it just off of the top of that, we're not all earning the same, firstly. And some of us are principals, and when I'm done with my work as a principal, I have to then go and do this game. Then they give me a tape by myself, and I have to go review this tape by myself. Then I have to go buy if I want the jersey uniform, say I'm not coaching PSL, I need to go buy that for myself. Then you don't give me... it doesn't make sense that this is professional. It doesn't make sense that this, can you really say that refereeing is a career that I want to follow? Right? When outside of Victor Gomes, there's 2, 3, 4 of them that actually have full-time jobs with this thing. Right? And what does that mean for a league? Imagine now I get one of the people that are not the full-time people. Surely then I can complain and say, "Aye, guys, but lana, why ningangipanga Victor Gomez? Why ningangipanga lo muntu ozongirefela kahle? Ningipha part-time." These are these are all things that should be set and professional when developing the referees, right? As Ronnie pointed out, it can't be that when you're always reffing idiski challenge games, you're always reffing the big games, kokasi, you're learning how to handle a crowd, handle all these things, handle all the different elements. Meanwhile, I don't get any game time. Jiggy, I need to be good at this, right? Also on the training side and the time side, imagine, guys, part-time. That's like me saying I play for Pirates. Yeah, I'm fit. I'm a soccer player. I play for Pirates. But Jose Rivero and Gemini the whole week. Then Saturday, you're like, yeah, by the way, so Dali 433 inverted. I'm going to expect you to do this and do this and do this. If I get inside that game, of course I'm going to look bad because I haven't had any game time. Imagine playing with no preseason. We've seen how the teams look with some preseasons. Imagine they didn't have preseasons, but we're okay for referees to have to go through that. It doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense. On top of the money and all of that other stuff, now FIFA has new rules, let's say. FIFA introduces 10 new rules, right? And I only have 2 weeks to learn those rules, the theory of those rules, 1. Then in terms of actually doing the thing on the pitch and seeing the situations and judging situations, now I have to understand all of that. Chigi, all of a sudden. No pre-games, no, you know what, guys? Let's have you guys ref like this in the LFAs. Let's have you guys ref like this. Let's put together some friendlies. Let's go to tournaments. Let's explain these rules. Let's give you some reps with these new rules. Now I'm expected to do that within the game, on top of everything else, part-time. Alright, guys, it doesn't make sense. Please, guys, please. I don't know if the comments, this doesn't make sense. And yes, we started this about the little issues around the matches we've seen now. But now you see that it's a bigger issue. Now you might have to think and go, you know, that referee or referee, le offside le assistant or referee offside or didn't see a call or made a mistake. How many games has that person gotten in the past few weeks? Besides fitness tests and things, how many games have they gotten in the past few weeks in order to be sharp? And now you are becoming sharp within the season. No, guys, like I don't know. It just feels as though we don't take these things seriously. And I think we're going to need another session just to go through some of the stuff that these refs go through or what's expected from them, because for me, it doesn't make any sense. For me, just the time factor is crazy. I work a full-time job and I ref. Imagine working a full-time job, then you have to be a landsman, go Orlando. When Orlando's on fire and people are scoring 5 goals or whatever and the crowd is up for it. Imagine having to control all of that. No games prior. They're like, no, go to Orlando. Yo, guys, I don't know. But in any case, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please follow if you have not followed. Please also do me the favor of supporting here on Facebook and on YouTube. There is an 18 Rand subscription on Facebook that you can join. It doesn't take everything away. But you'll have access to some very exclusive stuff. I need your help on that side because I'm not allowed to monetize with ads. So 18 Rand a month, can you please just support me there? Follow the account there. I do this Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. And I'm going to be doing the Sundowns match tomorrow. So is it the Sundowns match? There's a match tomorrow in the evening. I'll check, but I'll do a watch along for that. I was going to do predictions, but time is killing me right now. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys for your support. And watch the other episodes on Facebook and watch the other episodes on thingy. Yes, get Sundowns. Yeah, I'm gonna do a watch along of the Sundowns game. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys then on tomorrow, and we can carry on. Bye, guys. Facebook, something happened. So I don't know what has been shown, what hasn't been shown. But please, can you also do me the favor, man? 18 Rand a month. Really, I want to keep these things. I want to keep doing this. But yeah, money-wise, it's tight. And because I'm not allowed to monetize the way that I wanted to monetize, I'm going to need you guys' help. So if you can please, there's a subscribe button on my profile. Please just help me out there. 18 Rand a month. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys.